Hello friends, welcome to Mesh of Rigs Travel and Auto, and currently you are watching Jimny Cookbook Series, and you know what Jimny Cookbook Series is, where we talk about everything about Jimny. Today this is going to be a sixth video and going to be very interesting. In last video we discussed about lots of cost cuttings actually. I received lots of supporting comments, and thank you very much for all these supports. That's really appreciable. Thank you very much. Today I'm starting this beautiful topic of missing feature in a beautiful woods here actually, and this is awesome. I'll give you some glimpse actually about. So without wasting time, let's start the video. So this video is going to be about the possible missing feature in Jimny. So the question is, why at all we are discussing about the missing features actually? The main reason is this is a costly vehicle, no doubt about that. And this is not an ordinary vehicle as well. This is a 4x4 vehicle actually. By keeping in mind the expectation from the customer, expectation from the potential customer as well, there may be some features which are missing in this particular vehicle. So let's try to understand what those features are. So let's keep the cost cutting and the missing feature in the two different category and watch this particular video by keeping this in mind. The first missing feature as per me is a TPMS. Tire pressure monitoring system. Why this is important? TPMS is no more luxury these days actually. This is more a utility thing than a luxury. Why it is needed? See, when the tire pressure of the wheels actually remains as per recommendation, what happens? There are few advantages of that. The first advantage is the recommended pressure in the tire definitely give you better fuel economy whether you are on-road or off-road. The second is, suppose if one of the tire is misbehaving, and especially if it is a rear tire. Normally, the lower pressure of the rear tire, it's a difficult to judge when we are driving. Front tire, yes, we can judge easily. Whenever we turn, that actually drag our steering more. We get a sense that the tire pressure is low. With the tire pressure monitoring system, we come to know what exactly the state of the tire. The third point is, it also saves the tires of the vehicle actually from the unnecessary wear and tear. The tire pressure is very important aspect in that sense. Lastly, which is most important thing actually, when you are driving in snow, for example, or maybe you are in desert. In desert, we know that we need a low tire pressure in the wider tire. When you are actually driving in snow actually have different states. The softer snow, the icy snow, the hard snow, the black ice, different state of snow. And how much snow it is, that is also a question. So in different situations of snow, you must have different tire pressure. If you have TPMS installed, then you will get a better picture what is the air pressure of those tires. If you know that, then you can maneuver your vehicle in a better way. I don't count as in cost cutting because in most of the manufacturer don't actually provide the TPMS as a default feature. Especially in the 4x4 vehicle, it is actually required. Well, the another missing feature is, probably Suzuki will say, this is an off-road vehicle, then why do you need an armrest? Maybe, they can say anything. On highways, it gives you so much of comfort actually. Apart from highway as well, when you are doing off-road, suppose, and many people in the off-road condition are habitual to drive the vehicle from one hand, right? It happens actually. This is a practical thing I'm talking about. I'm not saying everybody do that and you should do that. What they actually have is, they actually put their, this arm in this way and then they drive like this. Off-road condition as well. This is not a main reason, but still to give the comfort to the driver and to provide the comfort to the co-passenger, it is very important feature. So in this sense, I'll go further actually. I think so the driver and the co-passenger both should get a separate armrest actually, and this is possible. Maybe this is going to be skinny. The width of the vehicle is not much. Maybe Suzuki have thought there's a less space there and they don't want to block the space actually, and there's a cup holder below that. Next one. Well, another two missing feature we actually discussed in our last videos. So let's take those one by one. So one missing feature is 360-degree camera, and that is very much required being this is a 4x4 vehicle. How Maruti normally places those cameras? One camera basically there in the front grille, two cameras in ORVM in each side, and one camera at the behind. So those four cameras are very helpful when you are parking in a very close area and you are actually in some off-road conditions and like woods I'm right now, and I want to see rear the sides of the vehicle that I'm not going out anywhere, I'm safe. In that particular situation, 360-degree camera is very helpful. Having 360-degree camera is still a luxury in the country, right? So I'm not calling it a cost cutting, but definitely this is a missing feature. This is a feature actually we should cut in this particular price. Well, the next missing feature is, we actually discussed about that in the previous video as well, and that feature is actually Suzuki Connect. I personally like that. When you have the Suzuki Connect, you can do the geofencing of your car. You can see where the car is going. Suppose you are not very close to your car, you can see the status, whether it is locked or not, and what is the level of the fuel in the vehicle currently. For example, the 30%, 40%, and lot many other features you can use. It is also integrated with safety feature of the vehicle. Anyone enter in your vehicle without your permission, so it actually give you an SOS alarm. That's the reason actually I love that particular feature. Sometimes Suzuki have some funny reasons, I know, but the chip basically need to have in that particular device is not available, and there's a lot of problems going on for the chip manufacturing, and maybe this is one of the reasons why they were not able to provide the Suzuki Connect in this particular vehicle. So I count it as a missing feature, whatever the excuse they will be having, because I'm a customer. I definitely have the right to demand what is missing and what basically we want. And the another missing feature is for my friends who are actually living in hot and humid conditions. Actually, the rear AC vent, I also need that feature whenever I travel to plains. For the people who are living in the plains and the very hot and humid areas, that feature is very much required. Suzuki may say, no, we don't have a place actually. If we actually put rear AC vent, we have to sacrifice the bottle holders. Maybe they are right. This is basically a design miss. Whatever the height you can see of this vehicle from outside, forget about that. When you sit in the car, you get very good headroom. This is A pillar, this is B pillar. Here actually on the B pillar, at the center of the roof, they probably can mount the AC vents for the better cooling in the rear seat. I'm not saying the AC of this particular vehicle is not efficient. This is very efficient AC. I count it as a missing feature because in such an expensive car, I think this is a much needed feature. Let's move to the next one. There is another missing feature, and that missing feature in IRVM, and you already know the ORVM are these actually which are outside a rear view mirror, and IRVM is inside a rear view mirror. We have a mirror at the center, which basically we use to see rear and the vehicle basically coming from there, and that particular is not an electronic one. The way basically we can use it in the night, that is totally manual, and this expensive vehicle should have that IRVM electronic operated. This is not a Centro, and this is a premium lifestyle vehicle as well as per the Suzuki. Then why this feature is not there? This particular feature is a premium feature probably, but this is not a feature without which basically we actually face lots of problems. We can operate it manually as well, which is fine, but this actually qualifies to the missing feature for sure. So let's move to the next one. There are two more actually missing features. I'm counting those two missing features in one because that is actually very much for driver only. People have different heights, different actually body types, different way of driving the vehicle. So let me tell you those features one by one. One, you can adjust the seat in this way, right? And you can move the seat back and forth like this, right? Problem is, there is no height adjustment on the seat, and that is very much required because this is something very personal to the person basically who drive the vehicle. Maybe 10 people of same height won't require to make that seat up. The 11th person need that seat should be little higher or should be more comfortable. That is a matter of personal comfort for the vehicle owner. There is another missing feature for actually driver's cabin. This particular steering, you can tilt that, which is very good. Suppose I open this latch and I can do this, up and down at my preference, right? I can do that. You can't move that steering actually much. This is not the main issue. The main issue is there is no telescopic in and out for this steering. This is matter of personal comfort of the driver when they are driving this particular vehicle. Maybe I have a habit to keep my seat a very aggressive stance, and some people actually drive the vehicle in a very comfortable stance, for example in this way, right? And in that particular case, probably depends on the height, they want to tilt the steering, and as well as the telescopic adjustment is required. The meaning of the telescopic adjustment is the steering actually go in and out in this way, go in and come out, and that feature is actually missing in this vehicle for the driver's comfort, and that should have been the part of the vehicle actually. So hope you agree with me. So let's move to the next one. Well, my friend, there's one more missing feature actually, and I really don't like it, being this is an expensive vehicle, because I really want to use it. And that missing feature is, let me show you. This is my key, right? And the vehicle is locked, and let me just open it. The vehicle is open now, and I can open it, right? I close it again, I lock it again, right? Now, what is the missing feature in this? When I lock this ORVM are not folding automatically, which is bad. They actually didn't put the relay in it. You can say it is a cost cutting, but you know what? What is the cost of the relay? Just maybe 300, 400 bucks. And if you want to have a very good relay, maybe 600, 700 or 900 rupees. And that relay need to be put inside the door because the connections are there actually inside. So they didn't put the relay. And what happens is, and suppose I want to get those fold actually automatically. This is possible. I'm not saying this is not possible. What we need to do in that case? So there's a switch here actually, which is there to manually open or close the ORVM. But for that, your ignition should be on. But what if I already off the ignition and I want to lock the vehicle, I will not be able to close those mirrors unless and until the ignition is on again. For example, if I switch on the ignition, right? You see ORVM automatically folded, and that is because you are in basically the switch down position. But what if I press the switch from the top? See, this is open. So this is totally manual. There is nothing automatic because there is no relay inside. Once actually the ignition is off and door is closed and you want to lock it, it will not actually fold automatically. Relay is missing, which is not good. You can also put in aftermarket relays in it, which is possible, but keep in mind whatever you do jumper to jumper actually. Don't cut any wire. So hopefully this is good to know missing feature actually in this vehicle. So let's move to the next one. So my friends, trust me, next two missing features are going to be very, very, very important for this vehicle actually. These two missing features are, let me take those one by one. First one, being this is an off-road vehicle, what actually you require? Definitely off-road capability, and this vehicle is basically having very decent off-road capability. But the missing feature is about its light. You will say, okay, you talk about the lights actually, headlight and fog light in last video as well. Yes, so the problem with the headlight and basically with the fog light are the cost cutting, not the missing feature. There's a one missing feature actually I want to tell you. Can you guess that? Okay. And that missing feature is, being this is an SUV and being this is a 4x4 vehicle, are the corner lights. Corner lights are very, very important. You know what? The vehicle like i20, Nexon, Magnite, and vehicle like, Jeep Compass having those corner lights. There are many vehicles in the market actually have the corner lights. But surprisingly, this vehicle, even XUV 500 also, which was, I think, launched in 2011 or 12 maybe, that vehicle also have the corner lights. But this vehicle, which is a specialized off-road vehicle, don't have corner lights. Why? I don't know. Old off-road vehicles, you will see corner lights here actually in the side. Vehicle like maybe Nexon, these kind of vehicles integrated in the headlights. But Suzuki actually didn't do that because probably to keep the retro look, which is fine. There should have been provided one corner light here actually. So whenever you turn the steering actually the right, that actually light automatically blow and give you the visibility to the boulders which are here actually, to the side which is here actually, and the dark portion, the blind spot here actually. So this is a missing feature and this is very much required for this vehicle, and I count it very seriously. Hopefully you will also count it very seriously. The reason is, when you are in the dark night, trust me, especially in the woods like this, every tree here actually not less than 100 feet, and maybe some trees are basically 200 feet. In city conditions, what are the condition of city roads? You probably need those corner lights in the vehicle. I would suggest all manufacturers in India should have the corner lights in every vehicle, irrespective of whether it is Alto 800 or the top-notch vehicle, whether it is off-road or maybe it's a normal sedan. Let's move to the next one, which is going to be last one and going to be very, very interesting again, because that is a feature actually needs a lots of R&D. If Maruti would have been done that particular R&D, that probably took another couple of years to launch the vehicle in the market. So that is the reason I'm not counting as a cost cutting, giving little edge to Maruti Suzuki actually, and this is a very much needed feature. This vehicle is actually missing 6-speed automatic transmission in automatic transmission vehicle. That is going to be a very good debate. For this video perspective, let's cover a few things. See, my vehicle is not automatic. This is a manual transmission vehicle, and in this manual transmission vehicle I have 5 gears, and those 5 gears still sufficient actually to cover the different ranges of speed actually. But you know what? The 4-speed automatic is less. Why it is less? Let me tell you. So just imagine your vehicle is having only 1 gear in it, just 1 gear. You can take an example of bicycle having just 1 pulley in it. When you pedal it, after that you just stop pedaling. It basically goes to a particular speed to some distance, right? At the same time, if you have a bicycle with the multiple gears and you stop pedaling and you just change the gear, what happens? It feels like the speed is being increased or decreased depends on basically the change of the gear. The main function of the gear is basically to cover the speed ranges. Suppose this vehicle is having 4 different speed ranges. That means every single gear have to work hard for longer to attain the maximum speed in that particular gear. And this is one of the reasons why this particular vehicle actually struggle on the low speed acceleration. This is one of the reasons. It is not just an engine. Engine is fine. The power is not bad. Maybe it is less torquey. If you have the 4-speed gearbox, that means you are not decently covering the range of those speeds actually in each gear. Suppose if you get a 6-speed gear, that means the range of first gear actually comes early. In that case, you will get an early push. And when you get an early push to the vehicle, that means you feel like that now this vehicle is more powerful. Maruti should have been put 6-speed automatic transmission when you are in hills and you need to push your vehicle harder. That conversion of the torque actually required. So the manual transmission is up to you. How quickly you can change the gear and how quickly you can control those, so you have a better control. In that situation, you can control it better. And we will talk about the 4-speed automatic transmission, 6-speed automatic transmission, and 5-speed manual transmission in a dedicated video separately. So my friends, let's move to the conclusion. Suddenly weather is changed actually, and this is my third attempt. This is third day I'm trying to record this video. Last 2 days I was coming to the jungle actually trying to record the videos, but whole day there was a rain, and today at least I am able to record this particular video and almost recorded. So let's start the conclusion. When we talk about the cost cutting and when we talk about actually missing feature, there are some parameters for that actually, but many accessories are available in market, and these are basically third-party accessories. I have very small complaint with Suzuki that those accessories which are available in third party should have been available within Suzuki, because some of the accessories are like that. If we put aftermarket, we very close to losing the warranty, and that should not be a case. If, for example, the lift kit, somebody want to put a lift kit, it is not a bad thing. And somebody want to have a bigger tire, it is not a bad thing. So it should be compliant because this is an off-road vehicle. And there are many things actually, many accessories. I don't count these as missing features, but at least should have been available within Suzuki. That is how basically I see it. And comment me if you also think in the same way. And for that reason, Suzuki must have learned something from Royal Enfield. I know that is a different industry altogether, but the good thing about the Royal Enfield is there are so many accessories available in-house, and nobody can compare Bajaj with Royal Enfield in that respect. Likely, if Suzuki actually provide all the accessories in-house, that definitely give a lot of push to the sale of the vehicle, and Suzuki get lot of praise from the owners actually. So here Suzuki need to learn something from Royal Enfield. I know these are two different industries, I'm not comparing, but Suzuki avoid the saturation. If you really enjoy this video, like this video, subscribe my channel, share this video with your nears and dears. That will going to be a big support for me. Right now you are watching Jimny cookbook series, and we are going to layering out many such concepts in very detail actually in next video, and you will see a long video on tire change. So stay tuned with. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.